Welcome back. Now we're on to the fun stuff. Believe it or not, we're on to um, Slack for the advanced Slacker. Um, so first of all, I think the most important of advanced techniques, you basically learned everything that the essentials that you need for Slack, but is to know how to find shortcuts. So that's just command forward slash, and you'll get all the keyboard shortcuts to pop up in front of you. Alternatively, there are lots of what we call forward slash shortcuts, which you can do what's called inline, which basically means in the messaging bar right here. This is the messaging bar. This is inline when you're typing inside of that. And if you just do forward slash, just like that, then it comes up with all these shortcuts for things you can do, including open the keyboard shortcuts dialog. Enter, and it does it. Look at that. And now, one more shortcut that's helpful is escape, because that just X's it out for you. So you never really have to leave the comfort of your keyboard, as coders would say. Um, yeah. Okay, so next advanced Slacker thing, organizing your sidebar. There's a whole lot of channels here. Maybe you don't use all of them all the time. Maybe some are much more important than others. For me, announcements are. So I want to do what's called starring channels. So I'm going to star the important ones. They're going to get bumped to the very top. I've been talking a lot in the Tahoe's channel lately. Going to bump that one up. And also talk a lot in Everybody. And Slack Tips is going to be a popular one after these videos, I hope, crossing my fingers. So, going to bump those up. Those are probably going to be lighting up a lot in the next couple days. Next thing you can do to organize your sidebar is to separate the public channels from the private ones. So you see the little locked are the private ones. The one with the little writing on it is because I started writing and then I forgot to finish. So if you want to change or separate the public from the private, though, go to your preferences and then go to advanced, and then go to list private channels separately. Simple. And now you can see that you've got all the normal channels separated from the private ones, and at the very bottom you have your muted channels. I'm actually going to set that not to mute, but to just nothing. I just don't want to see it, but I do want it in my normal list of channels because when I go up and down, it's another shortcut I'm using, Alt up, Alt down, or Option up, Alt Option down. You can sort of scroll through your channels like that. And last thing to organize your sidebars, you see how many messages and stuff I have here, and a lot of them are like in little groups that I've only maybe had like one or two messages. I don't really need them there. I can just go through and press X, and that's really nice. You kind of clean it up. I like to keep the single person ones usually because I do talk to people individually a lot in these channels, and mostly do other messaging like in the actual channels, not the direct messages. Okay, so your sidebar's cleaned up. Now let's get into pinned items and channel details. So what are channel details? You've probably noticed this whole right column. This is mainly for channel details. So normally your Slack message thing, dialog box, modal, whatever you want to call it, is it has a left sidebar and then the main thing. But if you click this show channel details box, it opens up the right sidebar. Pinned items are probably the most useful part of this right sidebar. Basically, it means that in this channel, Town Hall, there are certain documents that someone has thought is important, and they've pinned them to the channels, like to the top of the channel. So if you go into channel details, you'll be able to check out all the meeting agendas and minutes from past Town Hall meetings, and also check out Town Hall member info. So if I was to click on that, it would immediately take me to a spreadsheet. I'll just show you right now. So you click on that, it takes you to the spreadsheet. What else about channel details? You can view pinned items. You can see the channel's purpose listed there. There's also always a channel topic. This is often used not to describe the actual topic, but just to give like a useful link or something. In this case, this is the link to our video conferencing room. Now, how do you pin an item? Any single message, any single item has these three dots you can see. If you want to pin it, then you just click there. This one's already been pinned. How funny. How about this message has not been pinned? So I could do pin to town hall, and then you see 3 items are pinned. Karen, this is not probably the most important message, but Karen, my Wi-Fi is wigging out. Unfortunately, I'll try to see if I can rejoin the chat. I'm going to unpin that by clicking the X. Okay, next advanced Slacker tool. Video calls, so fun. Look, what I'm using right here is actually something that I opened from Slack inline. This is also a cool feature, how you have like your own direct message channels. So if you ever just want to like upload random stuff, then you can do that. You can upload huge files on Slack. You can upload like 100 gigabyte files. It doesn't even blink. So if you want to start a video hangout in a room, you can just do appear, click enter, and it'll open up this whole new video conferencing room for you for the /appear command. You'll wait for a moment, and if you post another channel, you can give it to people. You can also just share this link. So that's really cool. Additionally, if you don't like appear.in, which is my favorite video conferencing tool, then you can do Hangouts, also works. There's also the if you're in a channel, you can just click the call. And I've set the default to appear.in because I found it to be the best one. So sorry if you like another one better. You can just paste in the link, I guess. So much extra work. Okay, next advanced Slacker tool. Reactions and emojis. So you're talking in a channel and you really like this. What did Karen say? Yep, the wife's wigging out. You can add a reaction to it or an emoji. And you see I have all of my frequently used ones. I like hunted. It's always a good one. Devil horns, freaking rock on. Whatever you want. And you can also just click on these. If it wasn't me, then I could click on it. But since it was me, it's going to erase it. But if you do click on it and someone else will just add another vote. That's actually really useful in what we're about to talk about next, which are polls. So for polls, you can use the poll command and then use the proper formatting. So you see it gives you the proper formatting. The where should we have lunch in quotations, and then another quotation for your first option, another quotation for your second option. You can do as many options as you want. Do 50 options if you want. I won't create a poll in this channel because this is a serious channel. This is where we vote on things across the entire organization. But if I was to do it, I'll just do it in my own thing. And I'd say, am I a math major? Yes, no, or fuzzy logic. It's math thing. And then you could have people vote on it. So they could click on those and upvote or downvote those. That's cool. Okay, next thing is inline text formatting. So as you can see, you can type in here, but it always ends up looking like sort of like the same text. It's hard. You can't really seem to do enters. Wrong. You can do spaces. So I could do Axel, hi, and then I could say do a couple enters. But David said hello. Now how did I do that? I did shift plus enter. And again, all of this stuff is listed in the Slack tips document in the Slack tips channel. So if you were to go to Slack tips and go to pinned items, then you'd see Slack tips here. And you'll see everything that I've talked about in all these videos, from the introduction, joining, channels, messaging, notifications, edit profile, and now we're on the advanced Slacker. How meta is this? We just got done with polls, kind of went out of order, onto inline text formatting. So let's get back to that. X that out so you can see my face. So if I want to do bold, and I just do asterisks, then whatever you want to type in asterisks, you'll bold that word. If you want to do, and that's highlighted because my name is always going to be mentioned with a highlight. If I want to do italics, then I'll write italics things, and then with the underscore on either side, that gives you italics. There's other cool ones. You can do code using the little accent. That's in the upper left part of your keyboard. I had trouble finding that for a while. Code stuff, those left, right, caret kind of things, and then you get the code. Strike throughs I think are cool. You can do it with those. But the way that you remember all this, I don't really just remember it, is you start typing and then you see in the below it kind of tells you this stuff. So let's do a quote. It's a cool one. So that gives you a quote. We're getting very close to being done here. Another good thing to note is that you can search stuff. So if I want to search like, I don't know, milestones. This is going to search the entire app for any mention of milestones or anything that's a document related to milestones. So you have messages. I was sharing things about milestones. We were talking about TL at Cal chapter milestones. And you have files relating to milestones. This is actually searching within the files. That's how sophisticated Slack is. It actually looks inside the files themselves on a whole nother platform, Google, and gets in there and sees, oh, look, that was talking about milestones. They posted that. Pretty awesome. So that's search. You can also search within channels. That's kind of cool. I've never really used that yet. But you just do in : say Slack hashtag bylaws. Yes. Let's see if there's anything that comes up for that. I mean, bylaws has the word yes in it, I guess, that file. How about bylaws? Let's see if there's any messages. Look at that. There's a message that has bylaws in it. Okay. And finally, the very last part of the advanced Slack tips is my list of favorite shortcuts. So I like the first most important one, most useful, I think, is the command /. That gives you all the other shortcuts. And then my second favorite one, and so you don't have to remember those if you just remember the command /, is the way to start a new conversation without having to click over here. It's just Command Shift K. And then if you want to jump to a different channel or conversation, you can just do Command K and then type someone's name, type a channel, and it'll just bring you straight there. And then if you want to see channel details instead of necessarily clicking on this thing to see it, you can just do Command Shift I. That's really nice. Toggle that right sidebar. And I love the ability to just shift up and down the channels with Alt up and Alt down. But you can also do Option Shift up and down or Alt Shift up and down. And that will take you to the next unread message. Now, since I don't have any unread messages because I'm so on top of my Slack game, I can't show you that right now. But Alt Shift up or down would take you to the next unread thing. Perhaps one last thing to note is that the different sort of types of notifications, you're going to get notifications with like a 1 on it, like in a channel if somebody mentions your name, or if you have your notification set for all activity of all kinds. And if somebody posts in here, you're going to get a little 1 here. And if somebody posts again, you'll get a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 until you actually check it. But if you don't have notifications set for all activity of all kinds, and somebody messages and they don't mention your name, people could keep going on like that for ages, and you're not going to get any notifications because that would be really annoying. But what you will get is a little, it'll bold. This channel will bold, just like, here, I'll just share it. I took some screenshots of what this looks like. This is a really long video. I don't blame you if you're bored. So you can see that's what it'll look like. It'll just be sort of clocking up. Whereas if you have notifications on or somebody at messages you, gosh, that was weird. Dyslexic for a second. Then you'll get this 1. Same within your little app icon at the bottom. You're going to get a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with like the real messages, or a little bubble without them, or without the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. There. Okay, that's all I got. On to the very last video, or maybe this was the last video for you. But I'll see you in whatever next video that you watch that I'm in. That's a true statement, right?